Fat ass mole.
Fat face mole. You better rack off your mole.
Dumb mole. Dumb mole.
Dumb mole.
Dumb mole. Shut up, you mole.
Shut up, mole.
Yeah, you mole.
Such a mole. Such a mole. You can't act like a mole. Mole. Mole.
Piss off, you drunk mole. Out of the water, you mole.
Nice highlights, mole. I can read, mole.
I don't want to be some
Fat ass mole.
Fat face mole. You better rack off your mole.
dumb mole. Dumb mole.
Dumb mole.
Dumb mole.
Welcome to the Mole Patrol podcast.
What's up, Mole?
G'day, Mole.
G'day, Mole.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. How's
It's been a while.
I know. We should introduce ourselves.
Absolutely.
This is the first episode. I'm Elena Gabrielle.
I'm Danny O'Brien.
And this is Mole Patrol.
This is Mole Patrol.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this. It's been a long time coming.
It is a very long time coming. And I feel like because we have been friends for so long, like what, 10 years now?
Yeah, over a decade. I can't believe we lived this long.
After all the fringes, like
Yeah.
all of the traveling, all the
Like,
touring.
I think fringe years are like dog years. It's technically 70.
Yeah, right. I feel that. I feel so old. Like, but I feel like time goes slower when you travel and like you're touring. Like, but
Yeah.
then it's like
It catches up on you in the end.
10 years goes past. So, yeah, what's up? What's been happening?
I've just been gigging, travelling around. I was doing festivals all summer,
Yeah.
and then I wrapped it up. And then I took a holiday actually for the first time this year.
Danny taking a holiday?
A non-gig related holiday. And
What's going on? Are you okay?
I was actually a bit weird over there. Like, they're like, "What's wrong with him? Has he got autism? Why is he all weird?" And I was like, "This is what happens when you don't gig." Like,
Yeah, I know. It's a weird thing. Like, I always feel like August, I had a few weeks off, and I was literally just at home, and then there was like a part of me that was like, my knee started twitching, and I was
self-employed guilt.
I was like, I need to go somewhere. I need
Yeah.
to do something.
You're there at the supermarket, going up to their microphone, going check 1 2.
Yeah, check 1 2. Can I do a type 5, guys? Amazing.
Type 5, clean up on all.
So where did you go on holiday?
I went to Seville with a couple of mates of mine.
Yeah, nice.
It was unbelievable. The weather was epic. And then as soon as I came back, like literally 48 hours later, I got back and I was like, wow, that was amazing. The food was incredible.
yeah.
I had to go to Glasgow, which pretty much negated the entire trip to Seville.
Do you know what? It's like, I remember like there was a time where I think I actually flew Jet 2 years ago from Edinburgh to Malaga because I had to do a gig in
Wow.
Malaga. I went from the Edinburgh Fringe and I just remember like, yeah, coming back from that to like Edinburgh into like it was so depressing.
Yeah, it's
like
grim.
it's just such a...
I
yeah.
furthered my depression because my good pal, who you know as well, Stu Mitchell,
Yeah.
he was doing a tour show in Wick,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Do you want to come with me?" And I just said, "Yeah, well, listen, while I'm in Scotland, we'll have a bit of crack."
Wick.
I had no idea where Wick was, right? And he's like, "Well, we're gonna have to leave early, man." And I'm like, "It can't be that far. It's Scotland." And then it was 6.5 hours to get up to Wick.
And those roads aren't like
It's only
straight.
one road.
Yeah.
There's no hard shoulder. There's no nothing.
What's
like,
the population of Wick?
oh, Jesus. I do know that it got voted the saddest town in the UK. Yeah. Hull is now like a metropolis.
I feel like I remember when you told me that you're like, I'm going to Wick, and I was like, where the fuck? Like, you know,
When
like,
I looked it up, it's directly in line with Stavanger in Norway.
is it really?
It's like up there. Like the next stop
Yeah.
is John O'Groats, which is the highest point in Scotland. And then the next
Wow.
place after that is like the Shetland Islands where they make the ponies.
Wow. Is that when they make the ponies?
There's a factory. They just press them out. They pour
Just shrink
they pour
their horse.
whiskey and wool in. And they press.
Man, that would have been... What was a gig like up there?
It was actually
Did
really
you
good
understand
crack.
anyone up there?
Yeah, I was more paranoid if they'd understand me. I think I was the first Catholic up there this year.
Oh, wow. Probably since 2005.
Yeah. Well, they stopped hunting us. like.
Yeah. Far out. That's crazy.
And then had to come all the way back down and come back to Dublin. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I kind of love that stuff because it's a bit of crack as well.
Yeah.
And like, I like gigging with other comics, and like the drive, if you're mates, is always great and it
Yeah.
flies by. Being
Yeah.
in the car with someone that you don't get on with is a disaster.
Oh my God, isn't it the worst? Like, it's like, I've done like a few gigs and you're just kind of sitting there, and like, I've done gigs where like I'm all piled in like 5 people in the car, and then you just like...
Yeah, there's a good pal of ours, Jer Staunton. I remember he was dropping someone to a gig,
Yeah.
and like he's like, I don't like giving people lifts, and this is exactly the reason. I'm the exact same,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And luckily I'm on the road on my own now most of the time.
Yeah.
Might have a support act with you, but mostly they get themselves there. It's not an issue. And when you're on your own, you can listen to podcasts, you can do what you want.
Oh, it's
Or-
fine.
I ring everyone when I'm on tour. Like all those mates I need to catch up with. I'm like, hey, how you doing? They're like, Danny, it's 2:20. We know Apple Green is closed. Stop calling us. I have children.
That's why I was always like, you know, it's like always that thing where like you get into an Uber or a free, like they're always like on the phone and you're like, who are these? Like they have so many friends. Like who are they on the phone to? And then when you travel and you
if
like
you
have
drive a lot for your job, you
yeah.
make a lot of friends you need to call.
Yeah.
I'd be ringing Samaritans and everything.
Yeah, Jesus, like doing that. Amazing. Yeah, I think like it's like that awkward thing where you just get into a car and like, you know, when you're like in a car with someone and then you drop them off and then you have that moment of like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, it's like awful family leaving your house. Everyone's relieved. And then I remember one time my pal Jer was sitting in his car and he had an act there and she brought like fish and chips, like really vinegary chips.
No.
I think it was just chips actually, sorry. And the car stank, right? And he was like, Jesus Christ. And he just didn't say anything because he's being too polite, because that's what Irish people do. We just say nothing and rage inside.
Yeah.
And anyway, she left the bag, so she ate these like vinegary chips, like his windows were steamed up, the car reeked of chips.
Yeah.
And then when she was getting out, he dropped her back to her car and he said, you forgot your chips, kind of passive aggressively, but also like, what are you doing leaving a vinegary chip
Sounds
bag?
like a fucking mole.
Yeah, actually absolute mole behaviour. And he goes, you forgot your chips. And she goes, oh no, I don't want my car to stink of chips.
That's like years ago. I took someone in my car on after a tour, and and he just basically was like picking his hair like the whole time. And then when he got out of my car, it was like dandruff, wax on the thing. I had to get the car professionally cleaned because I was like, I don't want to fucking touch this.
Snowballs in here.
I don't know, but it was an 8-hour drive. Like it was a long ass.
What's wrong with people?
Yeah, right. I was
do you know what? I'm so glad, because that's essentially what this whole podcast is about.
Exactly.
That's what this is.
Trying to find the biggest fucking moles.
Yeah, so just explain to any listeners who mightn't be familiar with the slang itself, like, you know, what's the kind of genesis? Because I never heard the word mole until I did tour shows in Australia.
Yeah, right.
Like 10 years ago when I first did Adelaide. And I remember, it might have been you, but it was definitely like, it was either yourself or Fred or one of the stage managers called someone a mole. And I was in hysterics. And I was like, what is that? And it's like, it's kind of like this is my understanding.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the C-bomb of calling someone that, but not as harsh.
Yeah.
Like your mother would use it. It's kind of like calling someone a bit of a weapon or a bit of a bitch or a bit of an asshole or a bit of a prick.
A dickhead. Like it's kind of like that. It's also like, but there's like a layer of like passive aggressiveness under it as well. Like because you're not swearing, but you are kind of in a way. Like
it's amazing. It's kind of like calling someone a cunt without saying the word.
Exactly.
It's great.
And it's so funny because like, and I think like probably like, you know, my mum would always say it. She'll be like, oh, the fucking mole came into work today. Like, and you just like, and then they just like release this anger.
Like, do you know what? I have this theory as well that I think every office or every workspace, it doesn't matter what job you do, everyone needs one like mole or one shit person because it keeps everyone else sound, keeps everyone else cool.
Yeah, I find like moles
we
are
need a fall guy or a fall girl.
Yeah, fall mole.
Fall mole.
Because that's the thing, like, I mean, in Australia, it was really, like, popularized, I think, like, around Big Brother time, like, in, like, sort of the 2010s or a bit earlier, and then with Puberty Blues, which is, like, a popular TV show, and I was doing some research, Mel, and basically, it was, like, comes from, like, the 17th century of, like, an old prostitute, that's what they used to call it.
Lovely.
Prostitute was called a mole, and, which makes sense, because
Molly Malone mole.
They were all taken to, like, Australia, you know, back in, like,
they're all
like,
Irish
18th, 19th century. Yeah, to be fair, So I think we're derivative of
I
like.
miss you, great nana.
Yeah, like the Irish. They're the OG moles. That's it. And I think like when I met you 10 years ago, I think we just started calling each other like mole. Like it was just kind of like a thing. And like since like you're
it's
literally
kind of like a term of endearment, but it is funny. Like
I think, but it is like the C word. You can say like someone's like a cunt. Like it's
it was great. Like if I met you at the Fringe and you're like really hungover from the night before, I'd be like, you go up and you just go, "What were you up to, mole?"
Yeah, what were you doing, mole? Or just like, I mean, you're in my phone as mole. Like that's it. Like I forget even what your name is sometimes. I'm like, oh yeah, it's just mole. Like, and then you know we'll be like, "G'day mole, what's up mole?" Like
I love. I saw a reel or something the other day where someone has changed like a girl's name in his phone, but his phone was connected to his car. So she messaged him, and on the screen in his like Tesla or whatever, it has "do not respond to her." And it's like bro broke.
I mean, I love that. I love change. Like I used to do that all the time. I used to change names of like Tinder dates and stuff like that. So
it's really funny. A pal of mine in Adelaide told me that that the archive of her WhatsApp is like a graveyard of loads of men she slept with.
Yeah, my friend actually
Is that a thing?
It's a thing. It's a thing. So my really good friend, I love her for this. Like she literally whenever a guy like fucks her over, ghosts her or whatever, she literally changes their contact in her phone to just the graveyard emoji. So that whenever someone messages her or calls her, she's like, I don't know who it is, but I know that I shouldn't answer this.
You're getting dead calls.
Yeah, but you don't even know like who it is. And I love that. I was like, fuck yeah.
That's a top tip. The amount of people listening to this who are going to do that now.
Yeah, just like graveyard after graveyard after graveyard. So it's like, do not answer, but it's actually like just a graveyard
Yeah,
emoji.
it's a call from the dead.
Yeah, fuck yeah. It's amazing.
Wow. So it's kind of like a modern day Ouija board in a weird way.
Yeah, I guess so. Like just kind of like coming back from the dead. But I just love the fact that you don't know who it is either. It's just like, who is it?
Oh, so she didn't even put a name or anything?
No,
afterwards?
nothing. Just the graveyard emoji. So she literally at the bottom of her phone.
That's terrifying.
The bottom of her phone is just scrolling through just emoji after emoji of graveyard.
That's kind of like a weird form of like.
It's like going to a cemetery. I know. Yeah.
She's actually created a graveyard in her own phone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty much like
insane.
The Sims, like just do that, like crazy. So yeah, so mole patrol. We're here to find the biggest moles of the week.
Yeah.
Like really. So
and I think like every single day, every person in the world has like a mole in their life.
Oh my god, 100%.
Whether it's like a family member, a boss, someone who pissed them off on the bus, or
do you know what it's like? The mole that like. So I have one which I'll share like after we do our mole of the week. But like I literally have this one, and it's still grating on me. Like I'm still like that fucking mole. Like, and do you know what? Like I think this is why people murder. Like that are not murderers, but they just it just grinds on them. Like these
you hear about people murdering people for these little things over, like someone killed someone over a sandwich. It wasn't a sandwich. It was all of the accumulative behavior before the sandwich. It was 1,000 sandwiches before.
Like road rage and like people hurt each other over car parks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're driving around like a Westfield for like 4 hours trying to find a car
park. It's like
park.
this built up rage, and then it depends on what triggers it. Like, and then sometimes you meet a mole, and the mole is the catalyst.
And do you know what? No amount of meditation. Like I've been in this situation.
There's no app in the world that would cancel that out.
I was like, meditate. Like it's fine, karma, Elena, karma. Like you just tell yourself this, and then still you're like, nah, she's a fucking mole. Like.
And sometimes it's all right as well. Like I know we're all people always give you this advice where like it's just take the higher moral ground and be the better person, and
be the
the stronger person walks away and all this. And I'm like, sometimes people just need to be told to fuck off. Like you know what I mean? Like seriously,
they need to be told they're a fucking mole.
Or just go, exactly. You just go. Did you say that in your head out loud before you said that, you mole?
Great, I love it. So what we're trying to do with Mole Patrol is like basically we've asked all of our friends, our followers, like this kind of stuff, like what to
people
send in a voice note. Yeah, people on the street to send us kind of like their mole of the week. And so we've asked all our friends. We've picked the kind of best ones.
And by the way, everyone who sent these in, they've really outdone themselves.
Really
like this was just an idea that we've had over the last few months.
Yeah.
And people really brought the goods. They really brought the goods.
Because I think like we wanted to also create a podcast that was like very interactive, like where we can
and relatable as well. That like I think everyone feels the same in a lot of ways. I think we've all got more in common than we think. Do you know what I mean?
But also it's one of those things where like, send us in your mole of the week. Like release all your anger onto us.
We're curating moles like your friend is collecting graveyard emojis.
Yeah, right. But also as well, you can send us a mole of the week, and then it's just like you're giving your energy to us instead of maybe going out and killing someone.
Yeah, so, exactly. Saving lives.
So we have our first mole, and we thought we'd start off the podcast with an Australian. So we've basically gotten moles from all around the world.
Yeah, I think we're up to like 15 different countries.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I love that people who have probably
never even name 15 countries.
Right. Just even in the EU, you're like Ireland, Scotland.
I'm thinking of the Animaniac song, the Panama American.
Oh shit! Yeah, no. I mean, no, I get really like thinking about that. Like, I love geography, but that's another thing. So we have our first mole of the week from our mate from Australia who, and I thought we'd have to start with an Australian.
Yeah, it's only right.
Yeah, it's only like fair because it's like in the culture so that people can understand. And she sent us in this like. Mole of the week, and it's so fucking brilliant.
Ready yourselves, listeners.
So shall we listen? So we'll listen to it, and we'll gonna go.
We'll have a little chat as we go through it as well.
Yeah. So this is our first mole of the week.
History.
My mole of the week is a teenage boy with a barely there moustache.
I'm so glad this is a woman, to be honest with you.
But do you know what? That also gives me the ick is just like a teenage boy.
Yeah,
Like just
I
that,
can
you
see
know,
it
like, you
already.
can see it.
Just that little whispery,
Oh, just like the little thing. Like,
gross, kind of smells like Lynx African, like cum.
yeah, but you but you know what's even worse is when you meet an adult man with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, just shave
Shave
it
it
off.
off, bro.
Shave it off, bro. Like, that's not a thing. All right, let's see where this goes.
Who gave me the middle finger not once, but 3 times. In 3 different ways. After he took such offence that I almost reversed my mother's car into his mother's car.
It's like Robot Wars with
I
mother.
know.
What's the most mother car in Australia? Like, what's the
Probably
quintessential?
be like a Subaru. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, Subaru. Or like, maybe, I don't know, because my mom drives a Subaru, but like.
Here would be like a Nissan Juke or like a Hyundai Getz or something
Yeah,
like that.
I think it'd be similar because I think like cars of different. It used to be like this, you know, the suburban, like the station wagon.
Yeah,
that used
yeah,
to be
yeah.
the
No,
mum's
now
car.
they're small, compact.
No, now they're like, I mean, in Australia,
Ireland,
they're like
yeah.
massive cars.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Like, I'm talking like even a Toyota Hilux, like they'll rock up to like
Jesus.
school pickup with a massive. It's the same in America as well.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
the
yeah.
Chevrolet, like,
Petrol's
you know,
much cheaper as well. So that
well,
makes...
true, yeah. And it's just like they just rock up, and you see these tiny little mums like behind, like
Yeah,
steering
just
wheel.
like creeping
Like
over
this,
the steering
and
wheel.
it's like and then they get out, like, you know, they literally have to like jump.
Need a
out.
little ladder.
Yeah, like a little step ladder to get out of the car. I'm like, how do you even put your fucking kids in there?
So she nearly reverses her mum's car into this
Moles.
teenager's mother's car.
Yeah.
Not only did he get out of the car to attempt to beat me up, but the middle finger came against my car window, pressed up firmly. Then when my mother got afraid and said, "Don't get out of the car, I have to live in this town," he got back into his car and reversed back with his middle finger coming out the side of the driver's window at an angle that suggested it was a qigong move. And then he drove very slowly ahead of me and gave me the middle finger again.
I just love that visual of just like him being like,
So glass, and then driving away, and then passed her out like the other way.
just like all around.
So he's
Just like,
literally like following her around with his finger, like,
I just love that, like pressed up against the glass.
yeah, just like, fuck off, Mo.
Teenage
That like
angst.
teenage rage, like,
Out the side of the car as though it was an arrow. And he fingered the air so significantly that it suggested, little man's still a virgin. Australian little man is still a virgin. That's my mole of the week. Stay tuned. There's plenty more.
what a phenomenal mole to start
What a
with.
fucking great mole. I mean, car parks bring out
The
a lot
worst.
of moles.
Yeah.
To be honest. Driving moles.
I once, this is a long time ago, I was working in youth work, so
Yeah.
like my stress levels were like, I was working in like youth justice, so like my work was like horrendous.
Yeah.
And then I was gigging at night, like, so I was in Dundrum shopping centre in Dublin, and there's a car park upstairs where like Tesco is. It's like a top floor kind of
Right.
outdoor car park, whatever. And I went to drive out, and this woman drove down. There's like a million arrows pointing that way. It's a one-way system, right?
Yeah.
It's really tight. And she drove down with her daughter in like a Range Rover, and like it was just like real like Celtic Tiger, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just like
yeah.
that. And she's like drove down, and like I'm like, go back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, cause I'm not like, there's nowhere for you. It's one way, like.
Yeah.
And she literally drove past a million arrows, and you can't drive this way. And she goes, I've no English, like this to me, and like waved her hand. I was just like, and like literally, and like started, and then her little like shitbag daughter is like, and she's like 15, and the two of them are like laughing at me, and she's like, no English at me, right? So I had a McDonald's, I'm not proud of this. I had a half McDonald's strawberry milkshake, right? And I snapped, right? We've all got a breaking point. And I just hopped the milkshake, and it just went all over the windscreen. And then she was like, wipers on. Then I just kind of drove around and went out. I know that was bad. I was under a lot of pressure. But like, what's the other alternative?
Yeah, exactly. Follow the fucking rules.
Yeah. But it was just, it was more this, like, you know, get away from me.
It's like the...
shoo.
Do you know what? I feel like that's a very English hand.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And then
It was in Dundrum. It was definitely a West Brit, like, for sure.
Yeah, and like to do that to an Irish person is
Yeah.
move along.
Move along, silly little gentry. Yeah.
Which I think probably would have pissed you off the most out of that. Just like, it's like those passive aggressive, like, hand moves, like...
Yeah. Do you know what? Like, I remember once as well, I was driving, it was in Harold's Cross, and I was driving, and someone just parked literally in the lane. There's nowhere to pull in, nothing, and she's just sitting there. And I just beeped, because, like, just move. And as soon as I beeped, like, the minute I pressed the button, it was like a jack in the box. I just went beep, she just went... out the window, and I actually just laughed and said, fair play. She's been waiting for someone to beep, and she just went, and then just didn't look at me. So when I drove past, I was still getting the finger, and she's like, and she was just facing forward, and like, I didn't even get annoyed, because I was like, she was such a baller about it that I kind of was like,
you like respect,
yeah. I'd never have thrown a milkshake at her ever, like, you know.
Yeah, I think it's like
that's the worst thing I've ever done as well. Like, that's my like most hostile interaction I've ever had. Like,
I would have been like, oh fuck my milkshake.
Yeah, and I love strawberry milkshake, so I didn't do it lightly.
I think like traveling or just like road rage, like anything like that, just brings out like the moles in you. Like
Ryanair breaks my soul down, and I know like comics like they talk about it a lot, but it's
that's our life though.
It's just so awful.
I think also like especially air travel is like something that like we all can relate. Like so many people have to take flights.
It's getting worse and worse and worse.
I think that's like I really feel like you can track the decline of society
100%.
now by how we travel. Like in the 60s, 70s, they used to do like cocaine. They have to like live bands on these fucking like 747.
Imagine getting on the bag and having a live band on your flight to Glasgow.
Like no fucking, they don't even give a fucking like seatbelt or like transatlantic going.
Someone
from,
there with like a double bass and you're like, all right, who wants to start a production company?
Like,
boom. Oh man, that'd be such a good
like,
fun.
Right, and then now you're on a fucking Ryanair flight where you can't even recline.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Seat,
there is no button. You used to be able to, didn't you? Or did I make that
like,
up?
Well, now now he's like getting rid of it, and now you got to fucking stand up on these Ryanair
Yeah,
flights.
no, they're
like, it's crazy.
And like, I just hate giving them my money. Like, I hate paying that extra.
Yeah.
And now they've got like bag Nazis. So when you get on, they're like, how big's that? You putting that in the hole?
I think it's more in Dublin. I feel like some other airport. It depends which airport you're
does,
at.
yeah, for
but
sure.
But honestly, like, okay, I have a fucking mole of the week, right? I've been sitting on this mole for like about a month now. I like used to live in Berlin. Now I'm so happy I'm fucking living in London. But like Berlin airport. Sorry, Germans. Berlin airport is the worst.
It is awful.
Airport. Like, there's a reason why it took 20 years to fucking open, and then they opened it in 2020. Like, everything is
just the tram in Edinburgh.
It's so bad. So I rock up, right? I'm flying to India because I went to this wedding, right?
Yeah.
And I was in Qatar Airways, and so I rock up, and I'm like there.
That should be a nice part. You know what I mean? Qatar's fairly bougie. Like,
you would think that.
Yeah.
So but of course, it's like staffed by the German Berlin airport staff who hate their life and hate everyone, right? And zero customer service, right? So I rock up there, and she's like,
"Have you got your documents?"
Yeah. She's like, "Do you have your visa?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I pull out my sheet of paper with my visa on it, which is literally what I've been using for the last 3 years going to India.
Okay.
Like same sheet, like everything fine, right? And I hand it to her. She was like, "No, this is the wrong document." I'm like, no, this is my visa. She's like, no, it must look a different way. It must look like this. And then she showed me a photo of how it's supposed to look. And I'm like,
what? So you've changed the letterheads?
Yeah, right. And I was like, sorry, I've been into India like 7 times with this piece of paper. And I've also already been into India on
Check
my
my
visa.
passport stamps. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, like literally I've been
and
in on this
she's
visa.
not immigration.
Yeah, right? And then she's like, no, you must have it like this. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't have it like that. And I was like fighting back and forth with her, right? And then she's like, no, you must get this right one. And I was like, fuck, right? And you just fighting back and forth.
Put it on Canva on your phone and change it.
No, like it was like, so then I was like, I don't have it. And like, I literally was just going back and forth. And then I like went onto the Indian e-visa website and then found this one, downloaded it. And I was like, oh, is this the right one? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, fine, here it is. Like, what, and she's like, no, you must print it.
Stop.
Print it out.
What is this? 1997?
I was like...
Are you fucking joking? Hang on, let me just get the printer out of my bag. Have you got an ink cartridge?
Right, like at an airport? Like, what the fuck? It's an e-visa. You don't have to print an e-fucking visa. And she goes, no, you must print it. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I looked at her like this. I was like, oh, great, right? And she's like, it's not my problem, das ist the rules. And I'm like,
oh, what a German response! It's not my problem. I'd love to turn that into a techno beat. It's not my problem.
Yeah,
that
it's
is
not,
the rules.
Das
That
ist
is the rules.
Das is the rules, right? So then I look at her and I was like, great, where am I going to print this fucking visa in this airport, right? And then she looks at me and she's like, one moment. And then she like calls the number and she's like, yeah, right? And then she's like, yeah, you can go upstairs to the Visag office and they will print it for you for €5.
How much?
€5.
A fiver for a page.
Fiver for a page, right?
I know inflation and all that, but Jesus Christ.
So I fucking go up, like right there. I go up to this thing and they fucking give me, I have my fucking visa here. They print it, right? €5.
I hope someone screenshots this and then commits identity fraud. Elena, it turns you've actually been to India more times than you
sitting on this thing, Danny, for like a month, right?
I love that it's in a little folder.
Yeah,
like
right.
You're in
As I do
secondary
this, right? So I pay the €5. I get that, right? And then I go back down.
This is what a fiver gets you in Berlin airport.
And so I go back to her and I'm like, will this suffice? She's like, yeah. And then I get to the gate and she hasn't marked that they've seen my visa. So then at the gate, they're like, do you have a visa? And I'm like,
just pushing it into their mouth.
I was like, I have a fucking visa. I printed it and everything, right? And then I get to Qatar and I get to the airport like there and I was like, oh, do you need to see my visa? They're like, no, it's good. I was raging, Danny. I was raging.
I can't stand that hard. Like the thing is, I understand everyone has to do their job, right? My gripe with airports actually recently is that I've just been paying for fast track because I just can't cope anymore.
Yeah.
And the rules keep changing at Dublin Airport. Like now you don't need liquids, but they're like,
I do hate Dublin.
It's the worst of the worst. So I was like, right, I've no liquids.
Yeah.
I've drank my stuff. They don't need to take your laptop out. I don't wear any boots or anything like that. I put the belt in the thing.
Yeah.
I do all the things so I can just go through. And then they're like, oh, something's coming up here. And they're like, yeah, the machine doesn't react well to business cards. Because I have cards with QR codes on them for after gigs, you know what I mean?
What?
Yeah. So there's something to do with the lamination. And I'm like, what? Like, so they're there going through it. So 100% of the time my bag goes through, they search it. And then they're like, no, we need to put it through again. I went through fast track once and I was going to miss my flight. And they had, I think they were kids on work experience. They looked about 16. And your one's like, and like they were literally, it took like 20 minutes, right? And I said, listen, I'm really sorry, I'm going to miss my flight.
Yeah.
And your one's like, and was just real smug about it. And I was fucking livid. I was like, you fucking bitch. All right. And I was like packing up my stuff, whatever. And she's like, we're going to have to put this through again. And I just said, are you joking? Are you joking? Like, I said, I told you I'm going to, and she goes, are you not getting your fast track experience you wanted? And I was like, I'm like, what can I do? It's like a 16-year-old.
Yeah, because I know, and if
I kick off, I'm a prick.
Yeah, no, you'll be put on a no-fly list.
Oh yeah, no-fly list for me.
Yeah, you'll be taken out the bag. You'll miss that flight 100%.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. I feel like airports.
So enraged. I was angry about that for about a week. Like,
dude, I'm still angry about this fucking.
In the shower, like.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I think, and like these airport security, I think they just fucking hate their life. I honestly feel like I don't.
I've done loads of jobs that I hated. To be honest with you, like. But like I tried my best to not like deflect it onto others.
No, I know, but like I think like, but then you know when you see other people going through security, like especially in Berlin airport, like you know like, and I remember I saw this one guy and he literally just had one tray and he had a bottle of like Evian water, like a 600ml bottle of Evian water.
It's all I bathe in.
Yeah, and I'm like, is he fucking insane? Like it's 100ml limit, right? And he puts it through, and then of course they stop him. They're like, why are you putting this through? And he's like, it's medicinal water. And they're like, what? And he's like, I have a letter from my doctor. And he pulls out this letter, which I swear to God was written in like, I don't know, World War II. Because he like unfolds it. And it's like
with a quill.
Yeah. And he like hands it to them. They're reading it. And they're like, yeah, but is this just water? And he's like, yeah, but it's medicinal water. And they're like, it's just water. You can fill it up after security. And then he's like, oh, okay. And they're like, can we just throw this out? He's like, no, I'll drink it. So he stood there for
like,
a good 10 minutes.
Awkward, slow sipping.
Yeah. He was like... And I'm waiting for my bag.
Only a German would have that like lack of like self-awareness and the Germanness to sit there and just awkwardly, like an Irish person would just sooner pour it out on the floor, like
right?
You know what I mean?
Just like pour it out, and like he's just like, no, I will like, and I'm like, this is how much Germans won't pay for water.
I'm not finished doing my sippy sip.
Yeah. Oh my God, I really.
There's just a real weirdness and like. I've German mates and stuff like that as well, but they just have this oddness about them. I don't even want to say weird, I'll just say odd.
No, but it is endearing. Like once, like
Yeah.
after a while, you sort of get used to it. But like I feel like
we were in Berlin. I think I was actually over doing shows with you with myself and Jer Staunton.
Yeah, nice.
And this is one of the scaldiest moves that Ryanair does, right? Where they only half fill 2 planes.
Yeah.
And what they do is they then say they won't cancel the flight, because if they cancel it, they have to refund you. So what they do is they say it's delayed, but it was never going in the first place. And you only find out when you meet the other people.
Oh, shit.
Do you get what I mean? They're like, so what they
yeah.
do is they combine the 2 half full flights and they put it into one flight. So they made us wait for 9 hours at Berlin airport, but never told us. They're like, flights delayed.
Yes, you can't even go out.
They don't
like,
even let you go out.
oh,
It was,
so
and we were
fucking
so hungover. It was just the worst, right? And then we had to drive when we got to Dublin airport, so we couldn't even have a pint, like, you know what I mean, to pass the time. It was like torture. Guantanamo Bay, Berlin. But I never forget sitting there and just everything is awful, and the whole airport's like real hearing aid brown.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's just
not,
grim.
yeah.
Me and Jer were sitting there. There's a German,
nice vomit brown.
Yeah. There's a German guy sitting beside us, and he was just kind of shifty. Do you know what he just said? And he's just kind of like, and me and Jer were just like, what's the crack with your man? Like, we didn't say anything, right? And he takes this like sandwich bag, right? And it was all like full of condensation, and we were like, what the fuck is going on? And you know, like a quarter pickle, so if you got a burger in America, they give you like a quarter of a pickle with your burger. He had like taken a quarter pickle, put it in a Ziploc, I'll see you later, and then like closed it, and then like all the pickle whatever condensation, just one. And then he's kind of like side-eyed us, and we're like horrified. We're just looking at him like, and he just like slowly slimes it out of the bag, and then he's like, and he's kind of sucking this and eating this pickle. I mean, and Jer's like, he's like, I need to leave. I can't cope with this.
But it's also just a pickle. Like, it's like if that was a chocolate bar, it would be like fine. But just because, and the smell and like this, it's just like such a weird, odd.
Like that's a form of terrorism in itself. Like, you know what I mean? You should be put on a no-fly list.
That's
for
like
that.
one time I was flying from Reykjavik in Iceland to London, and I was like, at that point in my life, I was really fitness heavy. I was like, I need protein, and so
I need my protein.
And so I went through at Reykjavik Airport, and they have all the dried fish, right?
Scumbag. That's horrific. You're just there like pouring mackerel guts into your mouth. And,
There's all the dried fish, and I like literally, I was like,
horrific.
oh great, and like my mind, I was like, great protein, I'll take it on the plane.
Jesus Christ! One of those like cans that are swelling like.
No, it's like it's actually dried like in a plastic thing, and I was like, oh great.
Gross.
So I opened it on the plane, and it was just like it was just and it stunk, and I was just
You're like 299 people's mole of the week.
Yeah, I know. They probably still think about that.
What a perfect way, a full circle way to finish the first episode.
Of like moles of the week.
Thank you so much, first of all, to everyone who's listening to this, obviously.
Yeah, amazing.
If you can give us a little like and subscribe.
Yes.
And give us a little follow on all of our platforms.
Yes, and sign up to our Patreon because we're going to be releasing some special bonus moles of the week as well for you guys. And and then if you have a mole of the week, send us a voice message of your mole of the week.
We're very excited. Yeah. Thanks again. I've been Danny O'Brien.
And I'm Elena Gabrielle.
See you later, moles.
Peace out, moles.
Fat ass mole.